everyone, welcome to week number 8. So this week we will have 2 chapters to read and focus our overviews on. Those 2 chapters are chapter 24 and 37. Chapter 37 will only be pages 847 to 849. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started. So chapter 24 is going to be dealing with the muscular system and orthopedics. The muscular system is made up of muscles within the body, and this actually makes up for about 42% of a person's body weight. Muscles are composed of 75% water, 20% protein, and 5% carbohydrates, lipids, inorganic salts, and non-protein compounds. The muscle fibers are held together by connective tissues that connect tissues. Then the connective tissues are then held together by fascia or fibrous sheaths. Muscles serve many different functions within our body, and those different functions are movement, stability, circulation and respiration, heat production, and they also help with elimination and digestion. So when we talk about the function of movement, so nearly all movement in the body can be attributed to the muscle contractions, either voluntary or involuntary. Voluntary movement is the most understandable function of the muscular system. We use that to walk, to stand, to sit, to smile. Those are all the movements we can do voluntarily. We control those. We can tell those things to happen. Involuntary movements happen without our control. So this type will generally take place when we think about like in the heart. That's a muscle we can't control, but it does have an involuntary movement. It does it on its own. The function of stability also can be used as tonicity, which means the body's ability to maintain posture through a continual partial contraction of the skeletal muscles. So the muscular and skeletal systems will work together to provide the body with stability. The functions of circulation and respiration are next to talk about. So the heart will provide the circulation of our body, of our blood throughout our body, and provide oxygen and nutrients to our system. So that's part of those involuntary movements. Now respiration is controlled by a muscle movement, which helps our bodies to breathe. So a voluntary movement. Heat production is really important with the muscular system, and it's a major function for it. The muscles produce heat through chemical changes in the muscular contractions, and this will help to maintain our normal body temperature. So that's really important for us as human beings. We want to keep our normal body temperature. And the last function, the helping with digestion and elimination. This is an involuntary action of the smooth muscles in the GI tract to help actually transport food through the stomach and the intestines and then out of the body. So now that we understand the functions of the muscles, let's discuss the different types of muscles. Our bodies have 3 different types of muscles: smooth muscles, skeletal muscles, and cardiac muscles. Smooth muscles are also called involuntary muscles. They are elongated spindle-shaped cells, and they can be found in the respiratory tract, urinary tract, digestive system, and in our blood vessels. Skeletal muscles are called voluntary muscles or striated muscles. They perform our skeletal movements because it is attached to the bones of the body. Any movement performed by this muscle is consciously controlled. So if I raise my hand in my mind and with my muscles, I consciously did that. The last type of muscle that we have is a cardiac muscle. Now these obviously are the muscles found within our heart, and they form a network of branching fibers that will then have involuntary movements to pump our heart and pump our blood throughout our body. So now, when we discuss the muscular system, we also obviously need to discuss the skeletal system as they do work together. As I already stated when we started talking about the 3 different types of muscles, the skeletal muscle will attach to bone and is a voluntarily controlled movement. There are more than 600 different skeletal muscles that are responsible for the movements through our body. Those movements could be contracting, extending, or elasticity. When muscles perform in a group, they are classified into 3 categories. They are either a primary mover or an agonist, an antagonist, or a synergist. The primary mover or agonist is a muscle that is the primary actor in a given movement. This muscle produces a movement in the muscle contractions. So they're the ones that actually perform movements. An antagonist is a muscle that counteracts or opposes the action of another muscle. So it acts against it. And then a synergist is a muscle that acts with another muscle. More commonly, it's going to be they pair up with a prime mover to produce a movement. So raising my hand and wiggling my fingers. Okay, you have to work with multiple different parts and skeletal bones in order to do that. All right, so that is chapter 24 for you. Let's talk about chapter 37. So chapter 37 is going to be helping us as medical assistants understand our role with orthopedics, which is what muscular and skeletal systems fall onto. When you are working in orthopedics, you will be responsible for quite a few duties. First and foremost, the first action you'll have is the same one you'll have for any sort of specialty you work in. You'll be responsible for rooming your patients, obtaining vital signs, and getting those height and weight measurements. You'll also be responsible for reviewing the patient's medical history and completing any questionnaires or appropriate forms that relate to the patient's orthopedic condition. Again, really not any different than what you would be doing in a different specialty, just making sure that those questionnaires are geared towards orthopedics. You also might be responsible for scheduling diagnostic tests or procedures. You'll be responsible for working with other professionals such as the physical therapist or the occupational therapist. You will provide patient education and support on the treatments that were prescribed. You might also apply therapeutic modalities such as applying a heating pack or a cold pack. You could also be responsible for placing a cast or a splint. The last thing you might be responsible for is obtaining x-rays or other diagnostic images to aid in diagnosing and treating the patient's condition. Alright guys, so that is what I have for overviews of chapter 24 and 37. As always, I really encourage you to please make sure you are reading your chapters fully, especially chapter 24. This will be the main chapter on your discussion board and your quiz this week. Plus, by reading your chapter, you'll actually be prepared for your lab classes this week, so you'll have a leg up in the matter. For your discussion discussion board this week, we are focusing on muscles and exercising. You will need to discuss in your discussion post why exercising is important for our muscles. Once you've tackled that topic, you'll need to discuss why exercise is important, but also what would happen to our muscles if we don't exercise. Please make sure that you are writing your discussion post in your own words and that your initial discussion post is completed Tuesday by midnight and 2 responses to classmates are completed Saturday by midnight. Alright, to close out my video for this week, you do have a quiz, but it will be different than quizzes you've had in the past few weeks. This quiz is composed of 6 questions. Now, 5 of those questions are short answer essay questions, and the final question is going to be a matching question. You do have a time limit for this. It is extended a little bit. It's not 10 minutes this time around. It is a 15-minute time limit. This is an online quiz, so please make sure that you complete it no later than Sunday by midnight. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to me and I will help you as best as I possibly can. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you all next week. Bye, guys.